Hello, Grade for Hope! It's Teacher Queenie Cantor, and you can call me Teacher Queen for short. And welcome to the school year 2020-2021. So how are you, kids? I believe that you miss going to school just as much
As I miss teaching.
the adorable kids like you. I hope that you are all healthy and safety as we embrace the new normal mode of learning in our school here at Anacor Learning Center. So what are we waiting for? Let's go proceed to our class! And our subject for today is mathematics. I believe we all love math, right? So join me, kids, and give me your attention as I discuss to you what are quadrilaterals.
You got it right!
Today, we are going to learn more about quadrilaterals.
Can you spell the word quadrilaterals? Spell it. Q U A D R I L A T E R A L S. Quadrilaterals.
Before we start, look at the things around you. Do these things have sides? If they have, how many sides do they have? I want you to look for those objects or things
Which have 4 sides.
Have you identified those four-sided objects? If you did, very good. Don't you know that those four-sided objects that you have seen
Are called quadrilaterals.
And for our online class, my dear pupils, this will be the book that we will be using and will be the basis of our online class in mathematics. So if you still haven't have your books with you, just sit back and listen carefully as I discuss to you our lesson. Hi kids! Listen carefully because our topic will be very interesting. So we have quadrilaterals as our lesson in Mathematics 4, and it was prepared by yours truly, Teacher Queenie Cantor. So let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, look at these pictures. What do you notice? In a board, a window, a notebook, a cell phone, a $1 bill, a book, and a frame. What do you notice on these different pictures? Besides that you can see this around you, if you notice that, my dear children, those objects have 4 sides. And these 4-sided objects, my dear children, are what we call quadrilaterals. As you can see, we have their different kind of shapes. So, these shapes have 4 sides. So, those 4-sided figures are what we call quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral figure has a total interior angles of 360 degrees, meaning that there is no open side or broken side, and the whole figure of a quadrilateral is enclosed into one shape. Next. So I will show you, my dear children, another figures, and look at this. Can you consider these figures as quadrilaterals? A circle, a heart, a cloud-shaped figure, a pentagon, a triangle, and a star. Some of this has their own sides. Can you consider these figures as quadrilaterals? Is it a yes or a no? Now let's check your answer if it is right or wrong. Okay. Okay, so there's an X, meaning that these figures are not quadrilaterals. So the figures above are not quadrilaterals.
So, why are these figures not quadrilaterals?
Because again, quadrilateral figures have four sides. Now look at those sides with circle. Let us count them. Let us count the sides on the first figure, which has a color of green. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the violet figure, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the blue figure, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And on the last figure, let us see how many sides does it have. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So all of these children are quadrilaterals because they have four sides. Do you get it? Again, quadrilateral figures have four sides. Next. How about these figures? Can you consider these figures as quadrilaterals? Is it a yes or a no? Okay, so let's check your answer. It's an X, meaning these figures are not quadrilaterals. If you answer no, very good. Why do you think, children, that these figures are not quadrilaterals? It is not quadrilaterals because, as you can see, there are open sides and broken sides, even if they have their own corners or they have their own sides, but it is not 360 degrees. Now let's check on the next slide. So again, a quadrilateral figure has a total interior angles of 360 degrees, meaning there are no open sides, there are no broken sides. So all of the figures are enclosed in one shape. They are all enclosed. So which means that they are enclosed figures. Next, we have here. Are you ready to know what are these 6 kinds of quadrilaterals? Let's see. They are the following. Can you name any of these quadrilaterals? Can you guess what will be the first quadrilateral figure? Let's see. We have square. Now let us look at these pictures. We have here a gift box, a flat square, and a window. All of this have 4 sides, and this is a quadrilateral square. A square is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides or congruent sides, and they also have 4 angles. So all 4 sides have equal lengths. There are no sides which is not equal or unequal. All 4 sides of the square are equal. So that is why it is considered as quadrilateral, because of its 4 sides. If a square have 4 equal sides, the square have also 4 right angles. There are no sides which are unequal to each other. So this is the square quadrilateral. Next, as you can see, it is emphasized in our presentation that the sides are equally divided into 4. So next is the rectangle. I believe every one of you knows what is rectangle, right? But did you know that a rectangle is also considered as quadrilateral? Why do you think rectangle is a quadrilateral? Okay, so let me show you a rectangular figure. A table, a door, and of course, our very own Philippine flag, which is rectangle in shape. So a rectangle is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides are parallel and equal. It also has 4 right angles. Now let's talk about why is it that it has parallel and equal sides. Because the sides of the rectangle, so a rectangle, as you can see and as you can notice,
The top and the bottom part of a rectangle is the same in length.
okay, and the left and the right side of a rectangle is also parallel or equal to each other, meaning there's no side which is longer than the other, or there is no other side which is shorter than the other side, meaning they have the same length and the same height. That is why a rectangle has a parallel and equal sides. And also it has 4 right angles. Next, we have here a parallelogram. Again, a parallelogram. So as you can see in the picture, we have there a flat tile, the roof of the house, and a wooden clock. So these are parallelogram figures or objects. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with 2 pairs of parallel and congruent sides, meaning that the sides of a parallelogram has also the same length and that it is parallel because the sides of a parallelogram goes in the same direction, not in a different direction, but goes in the same direction. If this is diagonal, then the other side is also diagonal. If the other is standing but yet diagonal, then it is following the same direction. That is all about parallelogram. So again, we have tackled 3 quadrilaterals already. First is we have the square, the rectangle, and the parallelogram. So what do you think is the next quadrilateral? And let's see on the next slide that we have rhombus. So rhombus, my dear children, looks like a diamond. So we have there a flag. It is the flag of the Brazil, in that the yellow inside the flag of the Brazil has a rhombus shape. And we also have a diamond ring and a sign. And of course, we have there a kite. So these are considered as rhombus. So rhombus has also 4 sides. That is why it is considered as quadrilateral. So a rhombus is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides. It is also a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram which has 4 congruent sides but no right angles. If you ask, teacher, why is that it has no right angles? Again, my dear pupils, rhombus has no right angles. It's because that the sides of the rhombus are diagonal. It is not straight, unlike the square and the rectangle, right? So rhombus has diagonal sides. That is why it is not right angles. And of course, rhombus is also a parallelogram. Even if it has diagonal sides, the sides goes together in the same direction. Next, we have here a trapezoid. Now let's see the pictures that represent the trapezoid. So we have there a shape of trapezoid, a sprinkler, and of course a bag. So the bag has a shape of trapezoid. So a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only 1 pair of parallel sides. Again, only 1 pair of parallel sides. So which side is parallel? As you can see, the left and the right side of a trapezoid is parallel.
Since trapezoid has 4 sides, then it is considered as quadrilateral. Next, we have trapezium. A trapezium has no parallel sides because the left and the right side of a trapezium is not equal. Same with the upper and lower side, which is not also equal. That is why the trapezium has no parallel sides.
So here on the next slide, let us remember that a quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. There are 6 kinds of quadrilaterals. So we have a square, rectangle, and parallelogram, and the other 3 are rhombus, trapezoid, and trapezium. And this is how a square look like, a rectangle, a parallelogram, a rhombus, a trapezoid, and a trapezium looks like. Next, we also have the different pictures that shows a square, a rectangle, and a parallelogram. So do not forget this kind of figures. Are you still with me? I believe that you are still with me, my dear pupils. Remember how a square, a rectangle, and a parallelogram looks like. So we also have 3 more quadrilaterals. In the next slide, let us look at them so that we can recall how do they look like and what are their definitions. It is important to learn about quadrilaterals, my dear pupils, because this will be the basis of our next lesson. We have to know what kind of figures we are trying to look, and that on our next lesson we are going to measure the different angles of these quadrilaterals. So that is all our discussion for today, kids. I bet you learned a lot all about quadrilaterals, right? Always remember that quadrilaterals have 4 sides, okay? This has been your teacher, Teacher Queenie Cantor. Always be safe and God bless everyone. See you again on our next lesson.